Hi and welcome to The Light Leaders, a podcast for light workers who want more money, power and impact. I'm your host, Alex E. Lember. I believe that we are currently in the middle of a global awakening of humanity and that leveraging entrepreneurship is the fastest way to raise the consciousness of our planet. So in this podcast, I interview light workers and conscious entrepreneurs who follow their soul mission and have built a business around it. I call them light leaders, and this is the new paradigm. You will hear their stories and, more importantly, receive tools, tips, and strategies on how you can also impact more people and grow your business while following your soul mission. If you hear little nuggets you love and you'd like to share, screenshot this episode and share on your Instagram stories. Make sure to tag us at the Light Leaders Podcast and we will repost. There's a device I love and use almost every day. It's called the Healy. It sends specific frequencies to the body. It's been developed by quantum physicists from Germany, and it is the next evolution of health and well-being. It has amazing results. On top of it, it's an entrepreneurial opportunity. This is how I monetize my lifestyle, my brand, and this podcast. So if you're interested in getting this amazing device for yourself, or also in the entrepreneurial opportunity, I would love to help you. You can go to www.thelightleaders.org/Healy, Healy. Hi, and welcome to a new episode of The Light Leaders. Today, I'm with Livia Devi. She's a 5D visionary, mentor, and Trance-channel for an advanced civilization from the seventh dimension called the Arcturians. Her mission with the Arcturian Council of Light is to activate 5D leaders, visionaries, and conscious entrepreneurs on their soul mission. Livia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alex. I'm very grateful to be here and very honored to sharing with you everything that is available for us today to share.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Actually, that's usually my first question to the guests is, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for presence. I'm grateful for just being in this here and now and for being able to serve others and for waking up every morning with this beautiful unconditional love in my heart for everyone around me and for myself. So I'm grateful for every opportunity that day is offering to me to be and inspire others to be as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Livia. And to give some context to the listener, every time I like to ask you, what is your vision for the world, your why, and how your business helps bringing this vision into manifestation?
As one of the New Earth ambassadors or embodiment of divine light and source energy, my vision is to co-create a new earth where we are all coming together in unity and harmony and peace and connection. And you know, that the gratitude that I have every day and every morning is to serve others. And I have a deep devotion in my heart in following through my mission and to be able to share all the gifts and talents that had been activated within me and to be able to do this for others. And my business is very beautifully part of my divine service. So yes, I'm here and now with each and one of you walking this earth in grace and gratitude and contributing through our being and presence to co-creating a world that is more in harmony with our heart consciousness, a world where there is equality and peace and harmony, and where we are able to create more than now. We are able to access more of our fifth dimensional abilities and create a new platform of living. And as part of my divine service is to see others blossoming in their beautiful expression of light and soul mission as well. So I'm extremely grateful every day for this. And seeing how the ones that are guided to come into my field and work with me, to see their transformation and to see how they are actively participating in laying down a new foundation, a new infrastructure for new earth. I feel my heart is smiling every day just to see that transformation in them.
And the transformation, you do it through, you have a mastermind?
Yes, I have a couple of programs that I'm running. One is in co-creation with a beautiful friend, Gabby Kowalski.
Yeah, she's been on the podcast too.
Yeah. And I have another 2 programs that all these programs are an invitation for the ones that are ready to take a journey of evolution, and for the ones that their souls are calling them to activate within them the next layers of codes and to activate their consciousness to a deeper level in order for them to serve. And there are many people on this planet that they have this deep desire in their heart to serve. And some of them already found their gift, and some of them are just awakening or remembering now, why they are here. And I see all around me people with so much devotion and desire to change the world and, to create a better place for everyone. So the ones that are hearing the call and the ones that are ready to receive, they are coming in my field, and I'm able to co-create with them through these programs that are available, a journey that is more profound, and we are taking a journey that goes through deeper layers of their consciousness, and we are accessing the subconscious mind and conscious mind, and we are bridging the two, and we are opening up everyone to ascension, evolution, and embodiment. Yeah.
And I'm really happy to have you here. So just to give a bit of context also to the listener, you have 2 episodes already on this podcast. We've had one interview where we talked more about your journey and what is channeling and trance-channeling, so people can understand. And another episode was an activation you did at an event I organized here in Bali. And so people can have more background about you and about channeling, and also have an experience of one of the activations you can do. So listen to that if you're curious. And so you're channeling the Council of the Arcturians, which is a very powerful message. And at the same time, what I love with you and why I'm so happy to have you on the show again is that you, like, it's really from the heart, because a lot of people, they can have a lot of powers, but they can use it for manipulation. And to me, the mission with the light leaders is to find people who combine that incredible power with being from the heart and being heart-centered. And I think when I thought light leaders, the first person that came to mind is you. So I'm so happy that you're here for the 3rd time on the podcast. And today is going to be more about how you build your business around your soul mission. Yeah. To give a bit of context, though, can you go a little bit on your story, because you used to work in more corporate jobs? So
yes.
If people want more details, there's the previous podcast, but if you can give a bit of background, and especially how it led you do that soul mission.
Thank you so much, and thank you for seeing me as a light leader. And I'm always grateful to be here with you for this third transmission. Yes, so I was not always a spiritual person. Many years back, I worked in a corporate environment. I actually worked for 15 years at different IT companies, and I had different roles, and I was managing teams and projects, and I thought that my life will continue like this, in the third dimensional consciousness. But one day things turned into a different direction, an unexpected one. And yes, I was activated into my soul mission. And it was a beautiful experience, but a very scary one, because I had to let go of all layers of my identities. My ego was deconstructed, and I went through a very intense training of letting go and learning to surrender more and more. And I had to let go of all the projected realities that were created based on, my 15 years experience working in corporations and wanting to settle down or to follow the path that the majority of the collective are doing, the ones that are still connected to the old paradigm of living mainly from the mind, not so much from the heart. So this awakening and this shift that had happened was a shift in accessing my heart consciousness and understanding that we are not just one path, we are not just one identity, we are not just one expression, and there is an infinite spring of aspects of self and very deep connection to the source energies that we are able to access when we fully surrender. So after working for 15 years in a corporate environment, everything in my reality restructures and shifted completely. And I had to start from zero, if I can say like that, because suddenly I was awakened to a multidimensional expression of myself that I didn't know, how to connect. But I was guided through the process, and the guidance that I have received from my higher self and from the Arcturian Council of Light is to trust and to continue moving forward. And with each step that I was taken, I was stepping more into more confidence and trust, and removing, all the stories from the mind that were telling me that what you are doing is insane, or what you are doing is not what other people are doing. So I had to break through my limitations and took another route than the collective that I was part at that moment. And also to stand my ground in front of my family and friends and co-workers and managers, and fully let go of my old life and step into my power, even if I didn't know what my power was at that time. It was, through that shift of identity, I felt like I was completely naked, and I felt like I felt so vulnerable, and the only thing that I was trusting is a deep connection to my heart and the guidance from the Arcturians, that they were saying that you have to continue moving forward and you will be taken care of and supported, and everything in your reality will arrange in a way that you are not only able to build a life for yourself, but also inspire others to do the same, because this is the path of breaking through and leaving behind an old paradigm and stepping into a new platform, a new paradigm of living from the heart. So it was 1 year of transition from my corporate life until being a light worker, and it was very challenging at all levels of my being, but one day I said, okay, when I start to trance-channel and I start to connect in a different way to this beautiful Council of Light, I gather all my strength. And I was in Ireland at that time, and I said, okay, now it's time for me to share this transmission with the world. And I do remember that I organized my first workshop in Ireland, and I was scared because of judgment. I was scared because of not knowing what I'm going to do, because when I go into a trance channeling, I'm not preparing anything. I don't receive a download before. I just go into the space and I let these beings to flow through me. And I'm sharing the transmission with the world with complete surrender and no control. And there are different fears that arose in me at that time. And despite that, I said, I need to continue and I need to share this with the world. And if I can do it, then anyone can do it. And this might inspire others. And I do remember my first workshop, there were around 30 people that attended.
So you went straight to 30 people?
Yes.
You didn't do with like 3-4 people to start with?
No, because people were very curious about this. And yes, I remember that I was in front of these beautiful 30 souls that were waiting for me. And we were all sitting in a circle. And I remember their eyes looking at me. And I felt like I'm in the spotlight. And in that moment, I just surrendered. And I start to speak words of wisdom from my higher self and lead a ceremony that I never led before. And then I took them through a journey of connection and transmission with the Arcturian Council. And I remember when I came back from the trance, they were all... Some people were crying, some people were laughing, some people couldn't say a word, some people were in different states of emotional being. And I remember that was the moment where I said, I need to continue doing this. And I could feel, no matter how they were expressing themselves, they were all aligned in their heart consciousness. They had all been activated into that one stream of consciousness, into the oneness frequency. So, yes, this is where and how I started to do this work. But took me a lot of courage to even organize that first workshop. And yes, I do remember the amount of fear and how vulnerable I felt, and how I was expecting for people to judge me after. But the feedback that I have received was that everyone felt love. And actually, this is what we are all here to do in different expressions and different way of transmission. We are teaching one another what love is, and we are walking each other home. So this is how I started to serve the world. And I started in Ireland, and then I did a couple of workshops around Europe, and I started to do online transmissions
and
as
so
well.
Then in your mind you had quit your job. That was like,
yes,
okay,
that was the moment when I actually resigned before my first workshop.
Wow.
So I had to
Beautiful
let go
act of faith.
Yes. And I resigned, and I let go of everything, which was very hard what I left behind, because I left behind safety and security and financial comfort and many, many years of, learning and different trainings and certifications and degrees, and that I built, all my life towards that point. And what was interesting is that I let go of all identities, and I was happy in my heart and within myself and in my soul that I took that decision, despite the resistance, despite how everyone reacted around me, despite that my manager was telling me to stay and to just increase my salary or
the golden prison.
Exactly.
and so from there you started doing more and more workshop. When was that? How long ago?
I think it was 2018.
Okay, so quite recently still. And so 2 years later you have kind of a little online empire with online programs and the masterminds. Can you share, because what you're doing with your gifts, people can also translate that in their own service, whether they're doing breath work, meditation, different kinds of service. And I'm sure I know a lot of people here in Ubud, they have beautiful gifts and they do workshops, but then how do they take it to the next level as you've done? How did you manage to go from those workshops to that online presence and following and online programs and monetization?
Yes, so there were layers and layers of belief that I had to deconstruct and deprogram within my consciousness in order to be able to access more of this abundance flow that is our birthright but exists within us. And I started doing workshops, and then I moved to private sessions, and from private sessions I moved to group channeling sessions. So I'm not doing private sessions for a while, but in a very short time, like in 1 year, I grew up a multiple 6-figure business from one workshop. And how I did that is I took leap of faith every time, and I accessed within me a deeper layer of surrendering and trust. And also I follow the vision. I'm a visionary, and many of us, we are as well. And when we have a very clear vision and we are shown and we know for sure that we are here to impact the world in a different way, then we are not losing sight of that vision. Then we are working towards that vision. And no matter how your reality is and how your circumstances are presented to you, you don't let go. And this is how I build up this business, by continuously focusing and connecting to future timelines where I'm serving the world and accessing hundreds and thousands of people and millions of people. And I'm continually, even now, building this vision, so it's a complete devotion and dedication to it.
Do you have a specific meditation or visualization practice that you use?
Yes. So now I'm teaching also my students in the programs that I'm running. It's very important every morning to wake up and to connect to yourself and to your soul, because we are rewriting the stories of our lives in every moment, and especially in the morning when our mind is clear and our heart is open, then we start creating realities. So I start to connect more and more to future timelines every morning. But also I was taking action during the day around the vision that I want to live. And everything that I have created so far is connecting to future timelines and going into the quantum field and accessing these new timelines of self. And as I was trained by these beautiful light beings how to shift into alternate parallel timelines, then it was just became a play, of just waking up in the morning and choosing in one timeline I want to reside. And then all the actions that I was taking and all the magic that was unfolding and the synchronicities that were coming in my life was just following the map from this timeline until the next timeline that I was able to envision. So there is no limitation on how we can transform ourselves or what timelines we can access. The only limitation is our imagination. If we are not able to imagine more, because some people don't feel worthy of receiving. So this is where you have to deconstruct around like a lot of self-limiting beliefs in order for you to access a greater timeline. And this is what I teach at the moment, my students, how to let go of all the limiting beliefs and step into their power, step into that timeline, take that leap of faith. Don't connect so much to your outside circumstances, but create from your heart, create from that stream of consciousness that is available to us all. And some people had to, to reach the rock bottom in order to rise. But the way I teach is that we don't need to take that route. We can always navigate realities with ease, grace, and alignment. And when we are aligned, there is, we are as we are creating our own realities, there is an incredible synchronistic events that are happening, and you are merging with your mission, you are merging with your business, you are merging with what you are here to do. But this comes with a great level of surrendering. So this is why I'm saying that we need to dream big all the time, and there is no limit on what we can access or embody, because we are already that we want to become. There is no process of becoming, it's just a process of allowing, if this makes sense.
Yeah. And so through surrender, you took those leap of faith, being in the heart, having the confidence to do it, even though you had the fear.
Yes.
I'm interested also in 5D marketing, because you're obviously smart in the way also you present the offer, but it's completely different from the usual teachings on. I know when you do a lot of attraction marketing, you're not salesy at all.
Yes.
So do you have advice on where to find that balance between not being salesy in that old paradigm, using too many tricks and being genuine, and at the same time using some of the things that work to get people to join your program or your offers because you believe it's going to serve them?
That's a good question. So firstly is the alignment within yourself, because people that are using old marketing strategies, the frequency that they are sending out is there is a lack. They need to do more, or they need to use those techniques, because otherwise they don't believe that without them they are going to gain the clients or attract the students or the people that they want to learn from them. So when we are aligning within ourselves the frequency of abundance, then we know that even if you are sending, posting just a simple post, and when you trust and when you connect into the quantum field with your soulmate clients, then you know what to attract. And I would like to speak about this because a little bit more, because 5D marketing is very much connected to your heart consciousness. You are not serving for money. You are not serving to receive something. You are just giving. And what you are receiving is just a byproduct of what you already are putting there. So, many light workers, they want to bring out their gifts, but they are in scarcity. So then they can't close that gap, because every day they are living in different conditions, and they are looking around them, and, maybe there are limitations, or, everything in their reality is confirming that they are living in scarcity. So then they are not able to bridge that gap in between where they are and where they want to be. And because they are trying, and it's not working, then they are going through the old paradigm of marketing and, using different techniques or methodologies that are not functioning either.
And can I ask you there, because I feel definitely some people are trying and it's not aligned, and so it doesn't attract. I also feel some light workers, they're not open to receiving. Also, like they give a lot, but they block the flow of receiving. But what I like with you is you definitely give so much, but you're also open to receiving, because you receiving is in the highest interest of consciousness.
Yes. And this is the balance that we are, we are co-creating with the law of attraction, because when we are receiving, then we are giving, or when we are giving, we are receiving. We always need to create a balance. And I know in the spiritual community, there are many beautiful souls that they are serving, and they feel guilty if they are paid for their services, because they don't feel that their work is valued, because they are not valuing themselves or their services. So then what they need to do is just to work on their self-worth. And I had that as well. I had, before trance-channeling, I was doing Kyoto shamanism, and I was doing different healing sessions, and I was charging something like for a session for 2 hours of work, I was charging, I don't know, a very small amount, and that was because I had the same programming. I was feeling guilty for being paid for something that is coming from the heart. And when I went back into my belief system, and I this is a slave code, it's something that is keeping us in limitation. So I had to remove all of that and deprogram all this belief and start to value the fifth dimensional consciousness work and the evolution of consciousness. That doesn't need to be, because in the third dimension, we are always creating businesses based on comparison, and we are always creating businesses based on what we can physically give. If I'm a seller and I'm selling you a donut, you receive the donut. But in the 5D business, and you are receiving an energetic gift, and you are able to receive that energetic gift. And because we are working more with energies and frequencies, and we are taking journeys of consciousness that are non-physical, then people have this belief that this type of work has to be to put a different cost to. It's not in alignment with the third dimensional consciousness stream, if you know what I mean. So this is where many people has to go and deprogram these codes that are keeping them in limitations, because we are all here to thrive, and it's our birthright to access abundance, embody love, and be the grace and the light that we are. And when we are creating a business based on our heart consciousness and on equal giving and receiving, and we understand the value of the work we are offering, then everything is fantastic. There is no limitation around it. And this is where we are moving towards, from letting go of businesses based on product or something that is material and tangible, into trusting that healing, energy healing, and different type of healing work or transmissions, light codes, transmissions or activations are extremely valuable, maybe more valuable than one little product which is contained into form, because the energies can take many forms. If you can materialize in many ways. So it's just a different paradigm that people are shifting, from the third dimension into the fifth dimension. And I do feel that this work is extremely valuable.
And we talked about, we compared a bit the third dimension and fifth dimension way to do marketing. We talked about 5D leaders. Do you want to explain a little bit what you mean when you talk about 5D?
Yeah, so the fifth dimensional consciousness is... Okay, so let me start with the third dimension, and we go up the ladder. So the third dimensional consciousness is very much anchored in duality and separation and contrast. And people are thinking that we are only this physical body, and our reality is predetermined, predestined, and we have a destiny, and we have no control over our reality, and we are just following whatever is happening, and when we die, we don't exist anymore. This is the third dimension. Then we move on to the bridge, onto the fourth dimension, where many people are awakening, and they understand that they are more than this physical body, and they start connecting to their light bodies, and they start connecting to their higher self, and they understand that they are not separated of others. But this is more at the conceptual level. It's not embodied. So in the fifth dimensional consciousness, then you start to connect to everything that is. And you understand that heart consciousness is everything. And the portal of the heart is opening and is available for everyone, for them to shift into a higher level of evolution. And in the fifth dimensional consciousness, we are embodying our multidimensionality. We are connected to our higher self. We are receiving guidance from our oversoul and other civilizations. And we are becoming deliberate in creating our reality. So then we choose what we want to experience. Then we step in our full power. And this is something that for thousands of years humanity didn't access and was somehow hidden and repressed. But now humanity is awakening to the understanding that the fifth dimensional consciousness is available for us and is a stream of light that we are all tapping into. And from that standpoint, then we can get activated in our divine service and create beautiful, abundant businesses that is serving us and is serving others. And the 5D business is not based on ego. It's not based on power. It's not based on money. It's not based on fame. It's based on service and heart consciousness and alignment. Because if you can't attract the soulmate clients that you want, and you can't create all the programs that you want to create and serve if you are driven by ego or power, money or fame. So then you have to let go of that, and you have to get yourself out of the way and make peace with your ego, integrate that part that wanted validation or attention or is looking for just to be seen and heard and loved. And then we move into a different stream of our consciousness that is allowing us to relate to each other in the unified field of oneness and in harmony and alignment, and to follow that stream of synchronicity that are here to offer us support and are here that this is the stream of consciousness where we are coming together as a leaders, because we are remembering our power. And in all my programs I'm empowering my my students, or I don't really like to call them students because I don't feel I'm a teacher. I'm just like a mirror for them, and they are growing up through the reflections that I'm offering. And I love to see them empowered and fully independent and interdependent, to move to that level of interdependency where they understand that they are part of everything. If this makes sense.
Yes, it does. A lot of people, I feel, come from being very dependent to then independent, but we're connected. So to me, it's something I've done a lot of work on. It's not just being independent, it's mastering that weaving.
Yes. And, when it comes to when you create a product, when you create a program for your business, so I just want to offer some practical guidance for the light workers, that are taking the journey, that probably are at the beginning, and, or the ones that tried for so many years and they can't, they hit a platform, but they can't go upper than that. So the first thing and the first step is deprogramming of all limiting beliefs and everything that is keeping you into a stream of lack. Because many people are in lack and they don't believe that they can access more. They don't feel worthy that they can access more. They don't feel that they are ready. Some people are just not ready. Even if they know that they can access, they are overwhelmed by being suddenly abandoned, because they feel that they have to cope with image or self-image or how others are going to perceive, and they feel guilty that they have to let go, or of their friends, or there are a lot of dynamics within human minds that
which can happen
actually, because it is when you shift into a new version of self, then you have to walk your own path and to let everything rearrange without trying to change anything, without trying to convince others or change the perception of others about you. So this is the first layer of deprogramming all the limiting beliefs and taking actions based on intuition and guidance, and staying in alignment, and always being present and listening to the guidance that you are receiving, and following your own guidance, and being very precise about that.
How do you get more clear guidance?
By meditating and listening more, and staying in silence and connecting. Because when you are connecting to your intuition, when you are connecting to your heart and to your soul, then there is a knowing beyond words what you need to do.
Yeah.
And those inspired actions, then you can take them in order to lead you to the incredible matrix of synchronicities and alignment that is there and available for you. Then the second is how you are defining your business. What is the foundation of your business? What are the core values and virtues that you are putting there? And it's important, for for the young entrepreneurs to take a piece of paper and just write down what are the values that I'm putting in this product, in my business. What is the core? What is at the core of my business? And then you start to put all the values that you value in yourself and in others. And how do you want to create your business based on values and virtues and vision? So values, virtues, and vision. Because your business will always grow and evolve as your consciousness is evolving and changing. So then the vision will change, but the values and virtues will be there. Then this is the first, the second layer. The third, you are creating programs, or you are offering session. You know, there are people that are offering session to others. And then you want to define and to be very clear, who are your soulmate clients? What type of people do you want to work with? And then you describe them. This is how I start writing down when I want to work with people that have these values, and they are fun and playful and happy and motivated and committed and driven, and you know that they want to create an impact in the world. So you start to describe your soulmate clients, and then you do meditation practices when you connect to them into the quantum field, and you call them. And this is how I'm doing my marketing strategy, if you can say strategy, because there is no strategy. It's just a call. I'm creating a meditation and I'm calling my soulmate clients into the quantum field. I feel their frequency. I even know sometimes, you know, how many, like the gender distribution, how many females and males I'm going to have in the program, and then they are coming. And I'm just putting a post. I don't use Facebook ads or Instagram ads. I don't use any sponsored ads in my marketing. I'm just doing a fifth dimensional connection with, this is why I'm calling 5D marketing, because I'm connected to the soul tribe before they are even seeing my call for action.
And then you use Instagram or Facebook, and you don't overthink it. Just people come.
And it's important because when you are placing a post on Facebook or Instagram, just a normal post, but when you are putting with intention, and when you are creating portals within and how you code the internet, this is very important, because sometimes I'm writing a post where there are some key codes there, and those key codes are not to shift your consciousness, they're just very activated, energetic activated words. For people that are connecting to go straight in their heart consciousness and feel that. It's like mini keys within the post.
And you think only on these terms. You don't think about a word that would work better with the algorithm, or things that would make the algorithm work better.
No. Like you are always putting, like, you connect to a word and just imprint love consciousness or heart consciousness. And you trust that will be received in that way. And this is exactly how it's happening. So you become the creator of your own reality, and you start to play, you can shift your playground the way you want. And it's becoming very effortlessly. This is why my brand message is receive effortlessly. Because we are in that stream of just receiving and then giving.
Yeah, there's a certain playfulness that you add to everything you do that is very attractive.
Yes. And then, I fully let go of any expectation, because I trust. Like there is no doubt within me. When I know how many people are going to come in a program, there is no doubt that will be less. And this is something, people have a little problem with, because it's like they don't believe. So the beliefs are creating our realities, and from beliefs we have thoughts, and then we have emotions and feelings. So that's the first layer. We need to go and work on it, and then just everything becomes very easily and playful.
Yeah, because often when I'm using a manifestation, sometimes I'm like, it didn't work this time. So it's because I lack the certainty of it.
Yes.
The trust, yeah.
It is a certainty and a trust and precision and this is the element of devotion that I'm always bringing in my business, because there is a knowing beyond what your mind is saying. There is a knowing beyond what your reality is showing you. for example, if you are placing a post and you have the expectation, to reach out, 10,000 people or 20,000 people, or to have this result, and you see it in a couple of hours that doesn't have, then you abandon, and when you abandon that stream, then you are sending, an impulse to the universe saying that this is not working, and you are in lack frequency. So you always have to stay connected to that knowing and certainty.
We're going to approach the end of this episode. There's a lot to
I covered
to
just
unwrap.
a little bit about the business, but I would have loved to speak more about it in the next transmission. But I feel like as steps, deprogramming, then laying down a foundation for your entire business, and then for each individual product that you are creating, just attracting your soulmate clients and coding each and every product. That's very important.
And you do everything online now?
Everything is online. Yeah, my service and my business is online.
One thing, did you build it with different product from the start, or did you focus on one product and then built a new one and built a new one?
Yes, I focused on one product because I shifted from private sessions into a group channeling container. And my focus was on that, but then I was able to build other products. So everything has to be taken gradually. Yeah. Even if we are doing quantum business, we need to take actions in physical reality and to be very committed and dedicated to your mission and business. Like allocate time every day to work on it, And when I say work on it, take those actions that are necessary. So yeah, one product at a time. And then once you move, because you always move through the thresholds and platforms, and then you are able to actually do more in the same time. You
talk about taking action, which is an important step. I know a lot of people talk about procrastinating. Why do you think people procrastinate? What's the remedy? Because it seems like for you, when you have that vision, you execute, boom, you do, and it's effortless.
Yes, procrastination is happening because some people are just hitting a resistance and they're not able to break through that wall. And this is where they don't need to be hard on themselves that they are procrastinating. They just need to explore and be curious about what that resistance is, that they don't, that doesn't allow them to take action. Because it's not laziness, it's just fear.
There's a message there.
Yes.
What's one action simple that you'd advise the listener to take right now that could be the big domino that starts a ripple effect?
If they feel inspired after watching us and there is any message, any guidance, anything that they want to follow through, to follow it through now, to not delay and to not sit on it, to not think about it. And this is very important because also when I take actions, if it's coming from my heart and is fully guided, I'm not thinking. Because when you think twice, then you are adding a layer from your mind, and then you are creating, in that moment when you add another layer, you are creating two timelines. And it's important to just act on your passion, act on your heart desires, act on your guidance, and be very precise with that. This is what alignment is. And we will learn more and more to let go of the mind and connect more to our heart consciousness, and these incredible impulses of light that we are receiving in creating things, we will follow through very quickly, with no hesitation, with no double questioning.
There's a woman called Mel Robbins. She talks about the 5-second rule. It's like act in the first 5 seconds, then the mind comes into it. It's too late.
Yes.
How can people follow you, and what's next for you?
Yes, so people can follow me on Instagram. They can find me there with Arcturians channeling, or on Facebook at Livia Devi. And I'm launching now a new program called Evolving Consciousness, a journey for 5D visionaries, which is a very profound program of transformation and accessing fifth dimensional abilities, and also helping light workers to embody their multidimensionality, but also integrate their business with divine service. So exactly, in a nutshell, exactly what we just spoke here.
Okay, so they can go on your Instagram.
It is a blueprint of my journey into a new program that I'm offering to the ones that are feeling inspired and that are feeling ready to take the journey.
Okay, you'll probably see me there.
You are very welcome.
So people can go on your Instagram or Facebook and follow them.
Yes, and on my website, liviadevi.com, and they can even like follow or apply for the program, find out more information about it, book a call, and I'm always happy to chat with the ones that they want to find out more information.
Okay, thank you so much, Livia, and for your courage, for being from the heart, and for someone like me who's a bit more new to this. It's you talked about how hard it was for you at the time when you were in Ireland, and it's very helpful to have people like you who have walked the path, and it's very inspiring. And I think we're at a time now when it's easier to be in that 5D consciousness, especially in a place like Bali. It's really nice to have to have people like you around to support and hold the 5D grid. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for taking some of your precious time to listen to this podcast. If you stayed until the end, I assume it was insightful. If you like this podcast, please share with friends. Remember that if you tag us in your Instagram story at the Light Leaders Podcast, we will repost. Tell us what you've learned. You can also leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Now, if you think I can help you grow your soul mission business, you can register for a free 15-minute coaching call with me. Go to www.thelightleaders.org/free call. Thank you again, and let's co-create the conscious new earth together.